Hey all, Heretic here. Today on the Battlegrounds, we're going to be talking patch 33.4.2. And as always, we talk Battlegrounds here, folks. If you're a standard player, you're not going to find the coverage you want here, and I apologize, but I'm a Battlegrounds guy. That's what I do. So if you're looking for that, you'll have to look anywhere else. Everybody else who wants Battleground stuff, let's jump into all the good stuff. Now we have to start with a dev comment to the Battlegrounds in general, and this reads, "We're heading into the mid-season update with one last round of balance changes, and we're feeling good about how things are shaping up. Since its introduction at the start of Season 11, Rally has performed well and earned its place as an evergreen keyword. That said, future updates will likely dial back its performance in the game. We've also received great feedback on Quest as a system and are actively discussing potential adjustments if and when they return." Hopefully something like rerolls for the quests when they're either not worth doing because their reward isn't very good or too difficult to do no matter what they are. We'll see. This update focuses on refining the meta to keep gameplay engaging and fun. Quillbore and Elementals have been scaled back to better align with the rest of the field, while Undead, Beasts, Dragons, Mechs, Murlocs have received a boost to help them stand out more competitively. Please, I hope we see some kind of update to Undead that makes this annoying spell not be the issue it's been. We'll get there. We also fine-tune quest difficulty to make the experience more consistent and reduce the impact of high roll and low roll outcomes. To support that goal, Unlikely Duos now triggers on buy instead of play, and Cry for Help has been removed from the quest pool. These changes, along with other targeted adjustments to individual quest rewards, are now intended to reduce the variance and discourage holding cards on turn 4. Holding cards could give some players too much acceleration on the quest turn, so this update should help ensure quest difficulty feels consistently fair across the lobby. We'll continue monitoring the meta and making the updates as needed. There are exciting things on the horizon for the mid-season update, and we're looking forward to sharing more this season. See you in the tavern. Quick comment, please God, do not make the exciting thing we're getting mid-season be like an old-ass mechanic back again. Please don't let it be buddies. Please don't let it be Dark Moon Fair rewards are back. Please don't do that to us. Actually give us something new, or just give me some vanilla, please God. I'm excited about some of these changes because I feel like this meta is currently nothing but high rolls. Every single lobby, the person winning is winning by so much. Typically, it's not even funny. Yes, sometimes I do have a fun game where it's me, the last person, and we have a couple rounds of combat and we're countering each other and it's entertaining. But no, typically it's like, oh, I have a token build. Their stats are in the tens of thousands. I can't win. Or, oh, I have a stat board of tens of thousands, but it's a token build and they've buffed their Carapace Razor buff so high that they chew through my guys like they're not even there. And I just don't enjoy this ridiculous high roll meta. That's why I kind of enjoy Battlegrounds Vanilla, because it's a little easier to balance that as opposed to the insanity that quests bring that I feel like is just too much of a swingy thing. There's no happy medium. It's so rare to have a close game. They're always just, well, this person blew me out of the water. Not even so much because their build is the counter to my build, but just because they've got so many stats or so many abilities or so many extra summons, it doesn't matter what I do. There is no counter play. We've got some minion and spell pool changes now. The following cards have been removed from the minion pool: Stray, Satire, Carbonic Copy. Oh, thank God this thing is finally gone. Scourge, Harvester, Canopy Swinger, Sharp-eyed Sabertooth, which I would use, but never on Beasts, so not great. Merciless Manamith. I mean, even when you get this thing buffed for it to be useful, it feels like a waste, so I'm perfectly happy with this being gone. And I kind of thought this card was going to be a waste to begin with. I said so much in the first reveal, but I had some hopes that I was just not seeing a good use case for it, but it's gone now. The following cards have been returned to the minion pool, all with adjustments. So don't worry, I'm not going to show you the old stats here because they're going to be different. I'm going to show the stats later on, but Salt Scale Honcho, Gentle Jin, and Young Murkai are all back, but not the same, which is good, especially in the case of Young Murkai, because he's been a problem almost every time he comes back. Let's see if they actually changed him so he's not going to be a problem now. All right, now we've got the minion changes, and there's a few, so buckle up. We've got the Razorfin Vine Weaver. Old used to be tier 4, 4/4 rally, play 3 permanent blood gems on this. Now is going to be tier 5, 5/5, play permanent gems on this. And I feel like this kind of kills this card. But one of the issues with it, even on tier 4, is if you don't get it super early, it doesn't really get a chance to get a whole lot of value. True, if you pick it up later and you've buffed your blood gems enough, you don't really care, but you have to get enough swings to stack those permanent blood gems for them to actually matter. We'll see if this destroys it, probably not, but it does make it more niche use in my mind. Road Boar goes from being a 3/2 rally, get 3 blood gems, to now being a 3/4 rally, get 2 blood gems. I don't think this is a bad change. The problem with it as a 3/2 is it dies if you sneeze on it, but as a 3/4, it actually can take a punch. Now, that's only for like a turn or 2, and then it's pretty fragile after that, but still, I feel like the stat line feels a little better, but it giving 1 less blood gem certainly doesn't help with quest completion either, so maybe that kills some of the desirability. We'll see. Champion of Sagaris used to be 12/12 Battlecry and Death Rattle. Minions in the tavern have +5/+5 this game, are now going to be a 10/10 Battlecry, Death Rattle. Minions in the taverns have +4/+4 this game. Obviously, they feel like it's just a little too good, so they just tweaked it down a little bit. Feels like a fine change to me. Raptor Elder, they're still trying to make relevant. Used to be a 2/8, your beasts have +2/+2, improved by each beast you've summoned this combat, is now going to be a 2/7 stealth. Your beasts have +3/+2, improved by each beast you've summoned this combat. Now, this is good. This is a big upgrade because the fact that it cannot be hit early is huge. And if you do have a lot of summons, that can get decently buffed. I still think this is a case of permanent stats versus temporary stats loses. If you get this early and you can do a lot of damage to the lobby, you can win if you get it fast. But if you get this and the game goes long, you're going to have a hard time competing with anybody running stats. Demons, elementals, murlocs are just going to laugh at any stats these guys end up being if this game goes 14 turns or more. So I don't know how good this is actually going to be. Certainly better than it was, there's no doubt about that. Stomping Stegodon used to be 4/4 rally, give your other beasts +2 attack, and this rally is now a 3/3 rally, give your beast +3 attack in this rally, and I still think is utterly irrelevant and doesn't matter. But if they add health to it at all, it instantly becomes an issue. Maybe this makes it work. I don't expect so. I think it's still going to be hot garbage. I have not seen a single Stomping Stegodon board once win a game in this meta. I'm sure they have. I'm sure you have. But I have not seen one, and I have played hundreds of games. So that's a bad sign for the Stomping Stegodon. Mama Bear goes from being a 5/5 whenever you summon a beast, give it +5/+5, to now being a 6/6 whenever you summon a beast, give it 6/6. Still giving out more stats, still getting better, but once again, temporary stats. Maybe this helps with the other changes to beasts to nudge them in the right direction. We'll see. Goldrin the Great Wolf goes from being a 5/5 Death Rattle for this combat, your beasts have +5/+5, to now being a 6/6 Death Rattle. You've got it for this combat, your beasts have +6/+6, and they're really trying to make beast relevant. I've seen Goldrin builds win a couple times, but once again, it's always, you have to win early, and you really have to high roll this to make it work. But with these extra buffs we're seeing across the board to beasts, maybe this is enough to nudge them into being competitive on the regular. River Skipper gets a nerf. Do you care? It goes from being a 2/1 when you sell this, get a random tier 1 minion, to now being a 1/1 when you sell this, get a random tier 1 minion. And let's be honest, we're not buying it because it has attack. It could have 0 attack, and I think I still would buy this because it's still gold. It's an economy minion, and that's kind of all I really care about it being. That's just me. What do you think? Salt Scale Honcho, back for its 5th or 6th iteration. Used to be a tier 1 3/3 after you play a Murloc, give a friendly Murloc other than it +1 health. Now is a tier 2 5/2 after you play a Murloc, give a friendly Murloc other than it +2 health. And for early game cycling cards, not bad at all. Hey, Trade Prince Gallywix players, did you just get excited about another cycle card thing that you're gonna get better with? Yeah, you are. Merglin Burglar goes from being a 6/6 after you play a Murloc, give a friendly minion in your hand +3/+3, to now being an 8/6 after you play a Murloc, give a friendly minion and a minion in your hand +4/+3. So yes, Murloc's also getting a lot of love here. I'm always a fan of cycling cards with Merglin Burglar, so sure, let's give it some more stats and see what it does. Young Murkeye, often the terror of the Battlegrounds because he enables things he shouldn't. Let's see how he is. Used to be a 9/6 at the end of your turn, trigger the battle cry of an adjacent minion, is now a 10/5 at the end of your turn, trigger the battle cry of adjacent Murlocs. Now that's important. Murlocs only. So we're not going to see the shenanigans we've seen in the past where Quillbore players are like, oh look, gems forever, stats forever. We're not going to see those weird additional things that were happening with Young Murkeye, which was a lot of fun to do, but not a lot of fun to have happen to you. So thank you. I'm fine with Young Murkeye doing just this. Poor Greasebot, trying to stay relevant, goes from being a 2/5 Divine Shield after a friendly minion loses a Divine Shield, give it +2/+1 permanently, to now being a 2/4 Divine Shield after a friendly minion loses Divine Shield, give it +2/+2 permanently. And I still think it's equally useless. I mean, the 2/2 buff feels good if you triple into this early, and if you have a couple Divine Shields, and 3 turns later, you're like, can I cut this? I don't think it's a question of if it needs more than this. I think this is kind of where it needs to be and what it needs to do. It's a transition minion. It's not supposed to be permanent. If you want to make this more playable, I think the play is using it the way it is, remove it, put something more interesting in its spot. I feel like it's just what it does in the space it occupies. You can't make it much better because then it's broken. And it can't make it any worse because it already kind of sucks. So what do you do with it, right? I feel like this one is at best just eating up a spot at any tier it's in. Utility Drone getting a bit of a buff, goes from being a 4/5 at the end of your turn, give your minions +1/+1 for each magnetization they have, to now being a 3/5 at the end of your turn, give your minions +2/+1 for each magnetization they have. So it loses attack, but it gains permanent attacking buff for all the magnetics you have on your minions. Obviously that's better. I still use Utility Drone. I don't love it. It's just that, ooh, I have a bunch of magnetics. I might as well play it, especially if I'm running a Drakari. We'll see. Charging Zarina says, hey, I want to be more relevant again across all Divine Shield builds. Used to be a 6/3 Divine Shield. Whenever you cast a Tavern spell, give your minions with Divine Shield +2 attack. Is now a 5/3 Divine Shield. Whenever you cast Tavern spells, give your minions with Divine Shield +3 attack. It's a big increase in the damage. It's still just as damn good as it was before. If you want to play Tavern spells and have Divine Shields, why not? Any build it works. Mecha Gnome Interpreter getting hit with the nerf bat just a little bit. Goes from being a 2/4 whenever a friendly magnetic minion is played or magnetized, give it +2/+2. Now is whenever you play or magnetize a mech, give it +2/+1. All right, well, it's giving less health. It has less health, so obviously it's less good. Before, you wouldn't mind picking up, especially a pair of these in the shop, even if there were no magnetics, because you're like, the second I find one, it's really good, and as 2/4s, they're not bad. It's a little harder to pull off now. I mean, with the right hero, of course, why not? But it's definitely a nerf. We'll see. I think if you like mechs and you like this minion, you're still going to be running this. It's not a problem. It just takes it down a little bit in the early game for effectiveness. Prized Promo Drake. Used to be a 2/2 start of combat, give your dragons +3/+3, is now a 1/1 start of combat, give your dragons +4/+4. And that's essentially the exact same stats, so it doesn't really matter, right? They're 5/5s before now, once they buff, and they're 5/5s now. It's a bigger buff, it feels good, nothing wrong with that. I'm not a huge fan of Prize Promo Drake, but maybe this makes it better, we'll see. Roaring Recruiter goes from being a 2/6 to a 2/8, otherwise exactly the same. If you get it early, still a damn good minion, why not? Terragosa goes from tier 3 4/4 to a tier 2 3/3. And that's a big upgrade, I feel like. Terragosa's issue is when you find it, if you don't really have anything exciting scaling wise, it's not gonna work. It's gonna take too long to build up into it. But if you're finding it on tier 2 with other dragons that are giving it buffs, Not bad. Maybe this is a good spot for it. We'll see. Twilight Watcher used to be a 3/8 whenever a friendly dragon attacks, give your dragons +1/+2, is now a 3/7 whenever a friendly dragon attacks, give your dragons +1/+3. Obviously, it's a bit of a buff. No complaints from me. I'll happily play. Noisel of the Many Faces. This minion I wish they would just remove instead of constantly changing it, because I still don't want to play it. Used to be tier 6, 3/9, is now tier 5, 2/8. And yeah, that's it. Now you can find him earlier. Maybe you're excited about tripling him into tier 5. I'm just sad because now there's more of him in the pool and I have to keep seeing him. Oren on Omnis the Wilted used to be tier 5, 3/8. After a friendly minion is reborn, your undead have +1 attack this game wherever they are. Now is tier 6, 4/9. After a friendly minion is reborn, give your undead +2 attack this game wherever they are. Felt like he was utter garbage at tier 5 and feels like for some reason they might have nerfed him? I mean, they didn't, right? They doubled his attack, but since he's at tier 6, there's less of him, and you're finding him later, and he felt too slow before. So yeah, you doubled his attack, but now he's gonna be on my board with a bunch of reborn things to then start buffing my attack, and buffing my attack at tier 6 is too late. I'm playing turn 8 games now, and I'm running into boards with 3 tier 6s that have a stats full of 100. What is +2 attack gonna do other than make my opponent have an easy first? I don't really understand the point of this minion, right? It feels like moving it to tier 6 makes it less desirable to me. Like, I feel like this should have been reduced its stats and moved it to tier 4. What it does is it takes a long time to scale your attack, and other boards have so far outscaled you often. If you're using this particular undead build, because there's much better, like, how is this good? And maybe with the changes this will work, but this to me feels like a nerf to a minion that was already useless, but that's just me. Campfire Shadow used to be tier 5, 6/4, now tier 4, 4/2, and my issue with this minion is it's too random what it gives, and you find it too late, really. I don't want this on like turn 7 and 8. I want this on like tier 3. Tier 2, I feel like it's too good, but put it at tier 3 and I don't hate this minion. Make it a 3/2 at tier 3, I'm okay with this. Putting it tier 4, tier 5, just feels like a complete waste of space. I feel like there's a lot of undead cards right now that are just confused about what their role should be, and they feel fun, but they don't work in the game. Like, okay, I like the idea of the guy who buffs everyone when your reborn minions die, and now all your undead have more attack, or this guy who's stealing from people in the dark. Like, thematically great, but for gameplay purposes, useless. Gentle Jin is back. Used to be tier 6 taunt, battle cry, and death rattle, get a random elemental, is now tier 5 taunt, death rattle, get a random elemental. Still very good. Yes, it won't battle cry. Okay, that's annoying, but still very good. And at tier 5, kind of the perfect spot for this minion. I like it. All right, we got some spell changes for you now. We've got Sanctify. Used to be give your minions with Divine Shield +5 attack. It is now give your minions with the Divine Shield +7 attack. That feels really good. So no complaints from me. Azurite Empowerment used to be give your minions +4/+4. It is now give your minions +3/+3 twice. And that is huge. That is a massive buff. You are often buffing your spells significantly. And if you've done that a lot, them casting twice is a huge difference and well worth the 4 gold if you've buffed them. And we're done with the spell changes now, but I want to just touch upon something real quick. Does anyone else feel like Haunted Carapace is stupidly good, used in a lot of builds where it shouldn't be, and for some reason is untouched again? It's like, hello? I mean, maybe this is just my games, but I am running into consistent games where, yes, people will overcommit and die early to this. And so you'll see a lobby with 8 people, and you'll see 4 or 5 people die too soon because they commit to this. I've done it myself, right? And then you'll see a couple elemental players destroying them, having a good time. But then you'll have another guy who is just happened to be running all of this build, and he'll destroy all of those elemental players with ease because they're buffed to 800. And if, yes, most of the lobby dies trying to force this build, it's not going to look as good numerically. But then when you still have someone win because they nailed the build, You're not telling them they're doing the wrong build, you're telling them they just didn't hit the right cards and they're still winning with it. This still seems like it's a problem to me, and I don't understand why we're keeping our eyes closed to this and not fixing this issue. Maybe this is just me. Maybe this is my experience, and in yours, it's fine. But I feel like this card is a major problem and they're just doing nothing about it. But maybe it's just me and my experience. I don't want to say they're missing the opportunity to fix a big problem here, but for me, they are. Got some quest changes. The following quests are now easier to complete. Reenact the murderer, round up the subjects, and crack the case are all going to be a little easier to complete, while Dust for Prince is going to be harder to complete. All things I'm fine with, except for maybe the harder to complete. I just like it when they're easier to complete because I feel like they're often too difficult for what they are. And hey, I just want to thank everyone for watching. I hope you're having a good time. I hope you're learning a few things. Please like, subscribe. The channel has changed quite a bit now. Going forward, I am still going to be covering the news for Hearthstone Battlegrounds. I'm still going to be playing Battlegrounds, but for me, the passion for Battlegrounds is not what it once was. I have looked at the field of YouTube and I've said, you need to play other games. So I'm playing and making videos about other games. Hey, if you would like to support me and just take a look at these games, take a look at the videos I make. I understand if you don't like them, but hey, I appreciate it if you do, because I'm trying to take myself into a position where I can enjoy more things as opposed to just playing a couple things, because some days I just don't care. And sometimes I don't like a meta. And if you don't like a meta, that's hard to make videos for 3 or 4 months when the game is not fun for you. So I'm trying to branch out a little bit more. I hope you enjoy this stuff. Thank you. Now we've got some quest card changes. Unlikely Duo is going from being a quest of playing minions of a certain tribe to now being buying of a certain tribe. I kind of prefer playing of a certain tribe, but I guess maybe those were too easy to do. But we'll see. If they're easier to complete, it's not so bad. It just depends how difficult they are, right? Obviously the 5 and 4 are just examples, but that's the baseline for it. It'll be easier overall on the buying part, hopefully. The following quest rewards are now going to be easier to obtain: Smelting Chamber, Blood-Soaked Tomb, Beyond the Mirage, Magic Fin Relic, which is funny because it's usually very, very easy to complete, Yogtastic Tasties, which has been way too hard to complete for a long time, and Timeline Acceleration. All these rewards, they're quests that you have to do, will be easier to get. Fine with that. Quest reward card changes. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff happening here. Untold Riches is now going to change. It used to be get a 7 gold pouch, increase your maximum gold by 7. Is now going to be get a 5 gold coin pouch, increase your maximum gold by 5. And I feel like that's fine. 7's a lot. 5's still a lot. That's a whole lot for a quest. Because every single turn, that gold adds up. Yeah, if you die 2 turns after, wasn't very good, right? But if this game goes 5, 6 turns longer, that's a lot of gold you have over your opponents. So that is a big, big reward. Perpetual Incantation used to be your tavern spells give an extra +1/+1. This +1/+1 can be earned endlessly. Is now going to be your tavern spells give an extra +2/+1. Now it's going to be your tavern spells give an extra +2/+1. +2/+1 can be earned endlessly. Let's face it, you already know when this is offered to you if this is doable. I don't think the buff will make that big a difference in me choosing it, because really it's how completable is it? Because if I can only complete this, say, 3 times in the course of the game, realistically, it doesn't matter. But if I can complete it 10 times or more, now it's significant. Now it's worth doing. It's not so much about what the reward is in the case of this one, I feel, as much as how doable is the quest itself. And now we have some armor updates. I am not going to read all these to you. They're here on the screen. There's going to be links in the description to these patch notes, so go take a look at those. Go see about all the armor changes if you care. To be honest with you, for the most part, armor changes are just, okay, who knows? We'll see. I'm not going to remember all of these once the game starts, and it's not really going to inflict too much of a change unless it's a silly hero like, oh, trade Prince Gallywix. If it went from 8 armor to 14 or 20, I'd be like, huh? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna play him every time. But otherwise, they're just little nudges, don't affect the gameplay too much. That's it, that's all the changes. How do you feel about the current state of the game? Are you happy with it? Are you excited with these changes? I feel like some of them, for the most part, almost everywhere are going into good directions. And I feel like the game itself feels decent right now, with the exception of a couple outliers, for the most part, who are being fixed here with this patch. That being said, there's still a couple things I'm concerned about. What do you feel? What do you think? What are you excited for the mid-season update? What is it you want it to be? Do you want it to be some old mechanic coming back that you're excited to see again, like buddies? Do you want it to be vanilla? Are you like, no, surprise us all, give us new tribe, give us new heroes, do everything now in the mid-season, which would feel really weird, but would be a surprise, right? Let's not find another new pet that's like, hey, I'm Squiggy the Squid and I'm $642.99. Buy me today and you get to win your first game guaranteed. Please don't do that. Please, I was complete kidding. No one make that, please. But that's it. That's all. I'm out of here. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. Please though, like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. It helps the channel grow. And hey, I just like to do the interaction. That's why I do this. It's to sit here and hang out with people. Thanks again all. I'll catch you next time. Later.